Hello, party people. This is Jeremy from Jambalaya Plays Games, and I'm here at SolarFlare Games talking to Dave Killingsworth about Robotech Force of Arms. So go ahead and just tell us a little about the game, and then we'll go over the overview.
Okay. Robotech Force of Arms is a 1v1 card game. It's one person plays humans, which is the RDF, Robotech Defense Forces, and the other person plays the invading Zentradi alien race. Okay. Those who are familiar with the cartoon will recognize Robotech right off the bat. It was the property that got me interested in anime as a teenager. So, back in 1985, I'm running down the street going, I gotta get home and see the cartoon. And when I came up with this idea for a game, a lot of my friends were like, hey, we need to come up with a good theme. And so we ended up reaching out to Harmony Gold and Robotech and signed a deal, and now I get to make something that lives in the universe I grew up loving. So it doesn't get any better than that. So as a 1v1 card game, the game starts off with you have a 3x3 space out here in the center, and think of it as a sector of space near the Earth that you're trying to hold off the Zentradi, and they're trying to take you out. You start with 4 Zentradi capital ships, 4 RDF capital ships, with the empty spot in the middle. A turn is based around, on your turn, you'd pick one of your ships and you move it to any one of the other 8 spots. And when you do that, the cards trade places. And then once you do that, you're going to have a handful of cards that are a combination of attack value or defense value. You have 1 through 6 defense and 1 through 6 attack. And so once you do a move, you'll lay 2 cards down. You can lay them in different places. You can put them in the same spot, but each player has 2 sides. So these would be my 2 sides, and those would be your 2 sides.
So that everybody has the same card. So that's basically everybody does.
So the art's different, but from the heroes and the command cards are asymmetrical, but the fighter forces are symmetrical. So that way, I don't have an advantage, you don't have an advantage. It's about who can trick the other into doing something dumb. So, and the more you play this, the strategy level goes up because you learn nuances. The average game is about 20-25 minutes, but my beta testers who've played it a lot, it's 20 minutes of gameplay and 20 minutes of staring. Yeah, they stare at each other a lot. So you do that, you'd lay 2 cards down and you go back and forth 6 turns. And what'll happen is eventually all 12 spaces will have 2 cards in it. And at that point, there are certain cards you'll notice that have special text at the bottom, and those, if you play those face up, you're revealing secret information to another player. You get to earn some tokens. Here, I'll give you one of those. There you go. Cool. So in this case, if you were doing this one, you'd earn 3 extra attack tokens. So say I played it like this. Now you know I'm attacking at least 3 attack on the 3 cards in this row, but that's earned me 3 bonus attack tokens I can use during the token phase. So that's where some of the shifting start. Do I want to give you information or do I want some tokens? And so you go back and forth till all your fighters are deployed, and then during the token phase, we'd take turns, continue to go back and forth. I'd be like, well, you move some ships right at the end. I think I might be a little weak on the capital ship, so I'm going to play one there. And if you had tokens, you'd play one. And we go back and forth until all the tokens are played.
This is strategy, like even after play.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
And then you go, and then what happens is during the last phase, which is called Hero and Command. So in front of you are all the Zentradi heroes and command cards. These are your 4 heroes, and these are your 4 commands. And what happens is we switch order of play. So whoever got to move the last ship obviously had an advantage. And then we switch. Now the person who was going first gets to go last during Hero and Command. When you play your heroes and your command cards, it's immediately executed. You do what the card says and you execute it. So like, if I was using Henry Global and I played him, his ability is to transform the SDF-1, which changes it from that card to this card. The card isn't any different. It's just a fun effect because those of us who are Robotech fans wouldn't have accepted a game without the SDF-1 in Battle Fortress mode. And so then he would literally get to put 3 attack tokens on an adjacent enemy ship because they have it in the cartoon. It's called the Daedalus attack. The amphibious assault craft that's one of the arms punches the ship, opens the end, and launches missiles inside. So it's a cool thing in the cartoon. And so you literally get to go and put 3 extra tokens on the ship next to you. And so we go back and forth till all that's done. And then what we do is to resolve the game, once everybody's had their 3 turns, you flip all the cards over that you've played. And the strategy of the game is built around trying to apply vector defense to your ships and attack to the enemy ships. So we move this one down a little bit, and I need 2 random cards. And we'll do this. And so if we were looking to resolve this ship, and we would just assume there's cards everywhere.
Right.
So for this column, these 2 cards apply to every ship, just like these 2 cards apply to every ship. So here we'd look and go, this is my ship, it has 3 base defense, and I have 11 over here and 3 here, so that's 14, 17 defense. Where you're applying 9 attack, I would defend my ship and I would keep it, and I would collect the 4 victory points on the card. And then we would just check all 8 ships, and whoever has the most victory points wins.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then how long, like, what's the end game of this game as far as
about 20, 25 minutes.
That way. All right, wow. And then you have some of these characters from, like, straight up old school.
Oh, yeah.
Robotech.
Well, since I love the show so much, one of the things I really wanted to do was, there's lots of versions of the art now because it's been around for 33 years. But I wanted it to look like what we watched on TV, but with a nice modern digital cleanliness to the art.
Yeah.
And so anybody who's ever seen the cartoon goes, oh yeah, I know who those people are. And then what we did is thematically, the abilities of each of these people, these 4 and then the human 4, these 4, are all fit to the character. So I'll give you Henry. So he's the one that does the Daedalus attack. Since he's the captain, he would order the execution of the command. Rick in the game was both a great fighter pilot, but also hated war. So his card allows you to be defensive or offensive, which fits his character. And then Chiron, who we all love Chiron because he's nuts. Like in the cartoon, he starts shooting his own troops to make them attack when they don't want to. So in this card, you have to hurt your own ship to do twice as much damage to the enemy ship. So, like in one final scene in one of the episodes, he literally crashes his ship through another ship, the good guy's ship, to win, but he blows up. So, so it's
pure evil.
He was just
pure evil.
I think he's just very maniacally crazy and wants to win more than anything else. So it was really about making sure that there's theming a game and then hammering it home and making it part of the experience. And that's really what we were going for. Was in addition to playing the game, you felt like you were part of the cartoon and part of the experience. And so now for me, I get to play the game, but I also invented something that gets to live in that universe.
So that's a review, overview of Robotech, Force of Arms, and I'm at SolarFlare. Wow, I'm really forgetting this, I'm sorry. SolarFlare Games and Dave Killingsworth. We're going to look at a lot of the titles that he has available here at Origin, so stick around at JumbleWildPlaysGames.com.